What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today on Madden 21, and of course with the latest and the last roster update added to Madden 21 the other day. We have to hit our final how to draft the perfect fantasy draft team video of the year. Of course, it seems like you guys enjoyed them this year again, so if you did and you want to see them return for next year, or next Madden, I suppose, maybe leave a like, maybe subscribe. I would say it helps me know, but really, it's just me selling out. Of course, if you are new to franchise or you're new to this, to get the most recent updated rosters, you hit update rosters, and that should pretty much be good to go. If not, though, you maybe want to head over to Mr. Share and Manage Files. It's apparently a Mr. I apologize. You go to Official, boom, and then you're set. You're set. Now, to get a fantasy draft, which you would be surprised with how many people don't actually know how to do it, you go to franchise, you wait for the game to load because it takes so long. You go to active roster, as this will give you your most recent downloaded file. So, of course, if you have some weird, like, Simpsons file or something weird like that, that'll be what you have. But obviously here for us, we have the most updated rosters, which I will say is a joke that Henry's a 95 and Rodgers is a 95. They got Russell Wilson a 95 and Brady a 96 with Rodgers. Of course, speaking of Packers, you know that we always go with the Packers in these because I'm a Packers fan. If you want me to choose another team, just let me know. I mean, it could do like the Browns or something, doesn't matter. But of course, the main thing you can do, and you're supposed to do, is starting point, flick it over to Fantasy Draft to make sure you have it. It'll say customize on it. And the other thing you must and have to do is to turn off pre-existing injuries. Otherwise, guys like Kittle may be out, Burrow and all that. You don't want that. I forgot to properly sell out earlier in the video because if we can get this video to 500 likes, which I know you guys can, we will do a rebuild of this team as we always do. Pretty much right after we hit that 500, the day of, or the day after, maybe a day later, we'll do a rebuild of the team. Anyways, let's get into it. And then from there, you're pretty much ready to draft. Of course, for us, we're going to be aiming for a specific pick, usually pretty late, and that may be the pick already. That is pretty clutch. Will we be able to land our players, though? As sometimes you will see different names going at different times. I believe Kamara wasn't even a first-rounder for me. Then again, I don't really usually look for running backs. Of course, definitely different in this one, as this is, the biggest drop I've ever seen. Lamar Jackson is literally second, maybe 95% of the time. And here, he doesn't even go second or third. He goes fourth behind Jair and Jalen, which just doesn't make any sense. Mahomes is always locked in at number 1. As far as my earliest picks, usually I would have Watson around 16. Let's see if that's actually the case here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So right on the nose again. Josh Allen was 19 for me several times. And of course, the main dude, which may get a little boring if you've done this before, is Chase Young. The reason why is because you're pretty much allowed to get Chase Young and Kyler Murray with this pick. Of course, we could get very unlucky, but Chase Young being an X Factor at 21, even if he wasn't an X Factor, he was a superstar. Even a star with these ratings are insane, but obviously because he's an X Factor, he'll get very high. So Chase Young is our first pick. Can't believe we actually got this on one go. The question is, will Kyler be there? And I'm honestly thinking no, right? I'm honestly thinking no, and he goes to the Cardinals, which is definitely a yikes, and honestly, that could be subject for a restart. Or do we roll with it? That's the question. Do we roll with it? We do have other players on the list. Of course, Humphrey would be a guy I would love to aim for. Metcalf is in here. I think with this pick, if you're going to keep it going, would probably be Mr. Where the hell is he? Minkah Fitzpatrick. Because once again, I think corner needs to be one of your highest picks. And obviously, he's not technically a corner anymore, but that's where he played in the first place. He can obviously still play there. That's where I would go. But honestly, I really want Kyler for this thing, so I think we may restart. I don't know. And you know what? We're going to stick with it. We're going to show that it's not always going to be perfect. If you're in a user league, you're not going to get every single pick perfectly correct. The question is, any of these players are going to still be here? So Quentin Nelson went at pick 26. That was really close. If he was there, I'd have a hard time passing on him. We did reach a little bit as Fitzpatrick is picked 24 in the second round. If you didn't ruin it like us, you would have had Chase Young Ian Murray, which would have been obviously goated to F. Of course, we have other quarterbacks like Tua in the 8th round, and then the guy we're probably going to be aiming for is Jordan Love in the 12th, as he is star and has a lot of redeemable traits. Brian Burns at 25, McLaurin at 26, Budda Baker at 32, and then start of the 3rd round, 17th pick, Lattimore, and then Denzel Ward, who is likely gone, but you might as well check. You just never know when someone's going to fall. Obviously, a player like him, unlikely to do so. And then here you have Quentin Nelson at 24, Henderson at 25. Be interesting to see if he's there. Jeff Okudah is obviously there, as he is a 5th round pick? Oh, Okudah is a 4th round pick, 22, which might be something we'd be interested in. Of course, you could also double down on the most important position on a defense, which is Josh Allen, the pass rusher. So a couple of names later, I want to make sure that this is the best choice. We got a guy like Chase on later, so, you could have went with Josh Allen instead of, Chase Young earlier. Could have went instead of Chase Young, like the cornerback or something like that. This is a tough choice for me. I kind of want to go corner again. Herbert goes around here, but honestly, to me, it's not worth the pick. And you know what? It's a little bit of a reach because he's a 4th round pick, like a mid-4th. We're going to go with Jerry Jeudy with this one. It says we reached about a half a round, which, once again, we did kind of mention that. Maybe could have went with Josh Allen anyways, but I just think we have other pass rushers. Josh Allen's a freak, but a superstar wide receiver. You don't really need much more after Jeudy. Honestly, Judy's your number 1. Don't worry, that's the wrong player. That's also the wrong player. Judy's your number 1, and you really don't have to worry about wide receiver after that. We'll have a bunch of different developable guys later. And the tough part is I really want to go with Okudah, but it doesn't make sense because we have a bunch of other guys. Don't get me wrong, Superstar is great and all, but this Madden's definitely a lot easier to get your dev up as a cornerback because picks actually matter now. So it's not as, dire as it used to be. And you know what? You can call it a reach, but I'm going to go and take Derek Brown now. DT, Superstar. That's a position that's hard to dev. That's a position that's hard to just get better in general. Superstar development trait, Derek Brown. And it says we did not reach, even though I can 100% confirm we did. He would have went around pick 3 in the 6th, which obviously that could be, higher or lower any day of the week. And of course, with the next pick, we kind of sold a few times, but this time we did not, as we are going to land Superstar development trait, the most glitchy linebacker. Yes, linebacker in Madden, Isaiah Simmons. You could keep him at safety. Maybe that's what we do with Minka. I doubt it, but you never know. Now this is where things get a little bit tough because obviously we are jumping hard here. And there's a lot of great players in the 8th round. And honestly, we're going to double down on DT. This is going to be a sick defensive line. Vita Vea, who goes around pick 24 in the 6th round, makes so much sense to me. We are going to take him, and we are going to have a solid defensive line. Hopefully that matters here in Madden, or in Sim. Obviously, for you guys, it'll matter a ton. But for me, who's going to be using this as a rebuild team, as we always do, that's what I care about. So the late 7th round now. So instead, here's some of the options in case you went elsewhere. Maybe you got a quarterback in the 2nd round and things just changed for you. As far as the 5th round goes, could have Deion Jones at 14, Justin Jefferson at 19, Dante Jackson at 20, Devin Wade at 21, who I definitely debated, but we got a lot of fast linebackers later, and to me, linebackers aren't that hard to dev. Ruggs at 27, stamina issues, injury issues, and overall, a little durability problems. 21, Rashaan Evans, the hardest hitting linebacker in the game. Vita Vea at 24, like we mentioned. Montez Sweat at 26. At the 7th round now, pick 20 is Carl Lawson. Kind of an iffy one to be on the list. Hooker at 29, and then 32 for Chark. Pick 1 for Tua. So if we want Tua, assuming he's still there, this is when we would take him. To me, I don't really see the value in him now over Love later. As you can see, 68 overall, but hidden development trait, all the ceiling in the world. I just don't see the value, As long as we don't choke that pick, we'll be fine. This is where it'd be really tough for me not to go with Harold Landry, but I'm going to wait. We have some other guys later. Like we have Uche or Uch. There's some other names that are, a little bit slower to develop, but these picks up here are just so valuable. It's hard. It's just so hard to not wait, And once again, I think he's one of the, obviously his injury is actually a lot higher than I thought, which obviously I probably said last time. DJ Chark is just such a freak. I just can't just let him go. He's supposed to go actually, where is he supposed to go? 32 in the 7th round, so it's definitely a good pick. And I would definitely not touch any more wide receivers. Tremaine Edmonds was there, but that 55 catching, it's too low, I feel. It's too low. He's such a good player, but it's just too low. Now, say what you want. It might be a reach, but Jeremy Chin, you could also put at linebacker. I just think he's too good to pass up. He's supposed to go a little bit later in this round, but I totally love the pick. And we will be now on to pick 27 in the 9th round. Of course, some of the other options you had in the 8th round, once again, Tua at pick 1, Ioannidis at pick 2, Tremaine Edmonds at 8, obviously went there at 6, Landry at 10, McGlinchey at 13, Gesicki at 17, Jalen Johnson at 18, Chin at 26. I don't know who the hell that is. I don't think it's that good of a player. Hawkinson at 32. Now in the 9th round, pick 1, Thornhill. 8 is Lane Vander Esch. 11 is Sheriff. 24 is Ragnar, who could still be there. Doubt it, but you never know. And he is. That is something I definitely would be looking at right here with this pick. And then start of the 10th, you have Marquise Brown at 4, Darius Slayton at 5, Kenneth Murray at 10, and then the guy we will not be passing on, Mr. Devin Bush at 15. So with this pick right here, I think even though we have a lot of great lineman picks later, you cannot pass on the value that Mr. Frank Ragnar gives you. He'll be a decent overall until he's like 32, 33, giving you almost a decade of solid, honestly, guard play, center play, even tackle if you want. So Frank Ragnar, clearly the best pick so far. It said we reach, which is just hilarious. And then with this pick, if he's still there, please tell me he is. Ooh. Kenneth Murray, did he have a sneaky little season on him? Really good jumping, catching though, 57 catching. And that already might be too much for me to ignore. Obviously, Devin Bush isn't going to be much better, but definitely better, as Devin Bush will 100% be our pick here, which gives us a decent bit of linebackers. Can't lie, of course, we do have options. The safeties we took could legit just stay at safety. Obviously, not Minka. Isaiah could even play corner if you really wanted to. Now, some of the options, of course, like we said, after Kenneth Murray at 10, Devin Bush at 15, you had James Robinson at 20. I don't like the pick there. Max Crosby at 21. Evan Ingram at 26. Not a bad pick, in fairness. 28 is Jabril Peppers. 5 in the 11th round is Noddy. 11 is Ronald Jones. 16 is Jonah Williams. 19 is Ayuk. 22 is Jalen Smith. 24 is Yannick Ngakoue. 27 is Eric McCoy, someone we definitely will be looking at here. Picked 7 in the 12th round is OJ Howard. And then Oliver at 12. So a couple of decent picks in this round as well. A couple of guys you cannot pass up on. Let's take a look. So with this pick, once again, middle of the 12th is when Jordan Love would have went. So, of course, I do not want to risk it. That scared the hell out of me. Is Jalen Hurts hidden? Okay, he's not. I'm going to make sure that there's no other hidden guys, because obviously they could have snuck some in there. And no, it is clear-cut that Jordan Love is the best pick. So, middle of the 12th round, I'm not willing to risk it, though, because this is easily the best and last developable quarterback. Mr. Jordan Love, we will be taking him with our pick here. Says we reached, but, I mean, is that really true? Now this once again where we have to look ahead a little bit just to make sure we're getting our best value, because we will be skipping some rounds here. As you know, in round 13, Elton Jenkins goes early. We're not going to get him, but obviously I'd rather have Wyatt Teller, I think. So, with some players here that we're going to lose, but overall, I think we're going to be doing just fine. Round 13. Pick 31 is when Fant goes. Ooh, we're risking it. Pick 31 in round 13 is when Fant goes. I think you got to risk it because you do have David Njoku in the following round, so it's a bit of a drop-off, but still you got to do it, as I believe, in my opinion, my expertise opinion. Is that Oliver even here? I just wanted to check if he was. You do have a Hardman as well, who obviously can provide some. Where is Hardman? Is he gone? Oh, yeah, we might have skipped. We might have missed it. I think there's no one you could beat than Wyatt Teller here. Of course, we have some other linemen that are great later on, but this value is just insane. An 89 overall, 25-year-old guard. I mean, that's just too good. It's just too good to pass. An O-line that is good will make any average player look like a god. The question is Noah Fant here? Because if he is, we're having ourselves a hell of a draft. Uh-oh, that's not good. That's not good. When did he go? Did we miss him? Maybe he was there and I just missed it. He's not. Of course, David Njoku not bad himself, but when did Fant go? It must have been like right there. Yo, when did Fant go? Did I make a huge mistake here? Noah Fant went like a whole round and a half early. So once again, take these guides with a grain of salt because I had Noah Fant going somewhere between 25 and 31, more towards the end of round 13. And you can see here, he went at like 11, like late 11. Jeez. So of course, we kind of got screwed, but David Njoku's still pretty good, right? That should be the guy we go for. Dawson Knox is really good too, though. Knox goes in round 16. I'd probably be willing to wait 1 year younger. Yeah, we're gonna wait. So this will go best available. Jordan Brooks. The catching is a little rough, but you could go Okereke, but his catching's not much better, and he is 2 years older. 61 catching actually is pretty good. Catching is a tough one to upgrade. Good coverage ratings. What's the difference in block shed? So 72 block shed versus 77. Yeah, whoa, I made a mistake. That is not what I meant to do. Obviously, I meant to go to Jordan, and we just misclicked. Nice. Perfectionate, you. Of course, Bobby's still there anyways. We're going to ignore that. We're going to pretend we drafted a 78 overall coverage linebacker and not an old pass rusher named Leonard Floyd, who just is not worth that pick. We got a lot of linemen later. Just want to make sure we're not going to miss anyone. I guess we're going to double down. And oh my lord, that's why it happens. It flickers over. Like, I want to go to Josh Bynes. Like, why does it do that? Oh my god, this game is so bad. You know what? Now I don't want anyone. I give up. I guess we're going to do a little bit of a reach because we're going to be missing some players. James Daniels to play probably center, honestly, with his strength and size. And we finally didn't get cucked for once. Dawson Knox as the starting tight end. Says we reached, but obviously super freak. If you watch our Flyers franchise as well, he was really good. And I'm pretty sure he started with normal on that one. And then this pick, we're going to be taking a strong safety who I love to take every time. Terrell Edmonds, strong hitter, normal development. Honestly, potentially a win in this case because you're going to get that huge XP boost most of the time. And now this is probably where we take a few more linemen. This is going to be taking our final lineman, so Cesar Ruiz. And then with the next pick, we will most likely, got to make sure we're not going to miss out any of these running backs. And, ooh, we could actually. Yeah, we might be stuck with Swift, but we need to make sure we shore up this offensive line, finish the whole thing, which we will finish with Mr. Mutai. Super, super strong. Maybe he plays that. I don't know what you want to do with this line, but obviously all hidden development traits or better. This is our running back round. And as it stands, it would appear... Oh, they gave A.J. Dillon hidden. That changes things a little bit. Not much, but maybe you decide you want a big power back like Dillon who's hidden. There's got to be someone else that might be worth it. Damian Williams, how old is he? 28! No, thank you. I don't like DeAndre Swift and Sims, so this is going to be a bad decision for our actual rebuild. But for you guys playing, this will be a fun and good decision, obviously. And now with this pick, we're going to be taking Devin Duvernay. Of course, Pittman is still there, but we obviously grabbed a little bit of height at wide receiver already. And this is where we're going to get a little wild. You're thinking, oh, Justin Tucker is such a good pick. He is, but Harrison Butker is 5 years younger. That's the guy you go for, obviously. As you will see after these couple of picks, once we're next round, you'll be seeing guys like Tucker and Hecker go. As much as I like Hecker as well, once again, 30 years old. You have guys like J.K. Scott at 23, Dixon at 24. What else? There's probably some other guys I'm missing in here, but some other younger punters. So you got that situated. You're pretty much fine there. And then with this pick, we're going to take one of my favorite little steals in the draft, which is Mr. A.J. Terrell. I don't know why. I just like this guy a lot. And he'll be one of our corners. 77 overall, of course, super young. Maybe take one decent corner and you're pretty much set. And, of course, another really solid pick, maybe even better, probably better, Mr. Greedy Williams. And then for the depth, because we don't know exactly what we're doing at linebacker, Akeem Davis Gaither, 22 years old, 6'2", 220, really solid speed, good enough hit power, coverage ratings aren't bad, catching's good enough, really solid pick. Usually he's gone a couple of rounds by now, but, I guess he goes all over the place. It's like me when I can't make it to the toilet. Now that we sold you around down the river long enough for that extra pass rusher, and not even extra, your starting pass rusher, we lacked it a little bit, right? But Chason is your opposite edge to Mr. Chase Young. You can't have every position perfect, even though we probably could just use Leonard Floyd there if you wanted to. Obviously, we would have liked to have a coverage linebacker there. Jordan Brooks would have been a great pick, but, I do me, And then since we're going to miss him, Patrick Ricard, 26 years old, the best fullback you could pretty much get, is a very solid pick there. And, we're now starting to get down to the picks where it's like, yeah, I could help you, but I can't really do so much. It's kind of just take the obvious young backups. It never hurts to add a guy like Dwayne Haskins. Definitely usable if you don't like Love for whatever reason. Good backup in case injury happens. Can't go wrong with a young backup guard. Connor Williams, we know the name by now. Then you have Julian Love, a guy you could probably convert back to corner, but I'd probably keep him at safety. I mean, there's a lot of value. Really, it's about knowing the top. Ooh, Scotty Miller was there. Oh, well. We ruined that one, didn't we? As far as punters go, we sold a little bit, didn't we? We still have Michael Dixon here. Jack Fox is a little bit on the not good dev side. Just go by devs. It's probably going to just be Dixon, isn't it? Jamie Gillian. Matt Hack is a little bit on the older side. Yeah. Oh, Braden Mann, though. What's the accuracy? 79. There's no point. You might as well go Michael Dixon, the punter. Obviously, special teams is set now. You need some backups. Justice Hill's a decent backup. Could go with McFarland as well, the young speedster at running back. Backup tight end, Gandy Golden if you want to. And guess what? We want to. Could have had Jalen Rager, it is what it is. Paris Campbell sitting here, 23 years old, obviously very usable. Really, I mean, going for more than one wide receiver in the first 20 rounds is probably enough the way it is, let alone two like we did. Like Pettis, 24 years old. Not great, but definitely usable. I mean, Denzel Mims, 22. KJ Hamler. Probably don't need a slot guy like him with low injury, but why not take him, right? Just slap them all on the damn team. We want Hamler as well. We'll take them all. Speed Demon youngster Julian Aquara. Why not? Get yourself a backup. Albert O, the speedster tight end. Bring him to the squad. Why not? Josh Jackson. Why? No, I don't want him in. No, thank you. Noah, just Noah, 20 years old. I mean, that's over a decade if you can get him going. That's insane. I'm a sucker for the size. Isaiah Wilson. I mean, here even nearing round 50. Get a guy like Cushenberry on your team. You take Isaiah Rodgers because he's good at kick returns. I know it's kind of a scam, but we're going to give them Floyd ourselves. What do they have? They have Todd Davis playing there, so we're going to give them Floyd ourselves. I know it's a scam, but obviously if I was playing this for myself, I wouldn't have kind of went by that too quickly. So, we wouldn't have had Floyd. We obviously wanted Jordan Brooks, which changes things quite a bit. They can have Leonard Floyd, and everything is right in the world. They got Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback anyways. Who cares? And like I said with Mr. Simmons, I feel like we can play him anywhere. However, if he's going to be playing corner for us, he can't be wearing number 48. So we're going to be putting him at cornerback. Superstar development traits. 6'4", 93 speed, high hit power cornerback. That is just filthy level of play. Obviously, we don't really need all these guys, but I guess we'll just put someone at safety. I guess Noah. It's kind of a waste, not playing greedy and all that, but we really don't need Isaiah at safety. Cornerback is one of the bigger positions to grab, so I think that makes a lot of sense. All right, I don't know how this team compares to our other teams overall-wise, but a 79 overall, of course, you are starting with a very low overall quarterback, but at the end of the day, once again, 21 years old, only 2,400 XP per upgrade. Very good ratings out the gate. What is his ideal? That's the biggest one, is ideal sense of pressure. Obviously, aggressive forcing, that's just for AIs. Tight spiral is nice, obviously. But that ideal sense of pressure is obviously going to help quite a bit. That's the big one you want to look for with these quarterbacks. Fast enough to move around. Throw power 90, 80 deep, 79 medium, 84 short. Awareness is a little low. Throw under pressure is fine. Really just the break sack, which honestly, I mean, how many of you guys actually break a sack off in the pocket? I mean, I don't ever. As far as the offensive line goes, Ragnar moves over to left tackle, Wyatt Teller at right tackle, Daniels at left guard, center Mutai, and then Cesar Ruiz at right guard, all young, all developable. Looking at the XP, 35 or 3600, 2600 there. Wide receivers, superstar development, Jerry Jeudy, obviously cannot go wrong with him. Mr. Chark at 81 overall, 8200 XP to upgrade him. Swift, a lot of long hair fellas here. Not going to be great for us in Sim, but once again, if you're using him, definitely a fun player to user. Looking at the defense, oh yeah, we also have Knox, who shouldn't be that hard to upgrade either, right? Like, I know tight ends aren't super easy to develop, but 6,500 XP looks really solid, obviously. Fight for yards, run after catch, possession. You would like the feed inbound trait for sure, but, we've had other players with it, and they don't catch it inbound, so what can you do there? Of course, we do have to move to a 4-3, which is always what we do, so before we talk more about it, we will do that right now. And with that, this is what the defense looks like. Of course, Jeremy Chin playing the linebacker spot, 6'3", 221, just big enough to do so. Block shedding's a little low, but obviously that's something you look to upgrade right out the gate. Devin Bush, another really fast, usable linebacker. And then Jordan Brooks, the guy that we should have had before we choked it. Obviously going to be starting at the left outside spot. Two normal development safeties, but obviously high potential, especially Edmonds, 87 hit power at 23 years old. Can't really ask for much more there. And then Julian Love, more of a true free safety build. Obviously playing free safety. Starting quarterback, Mr. Minkah Fitzpatrick, 86 overall. You just upgrade those man coverage abilities, and obviously with the catching and speed and height, very solid cornerback number 1. And then cornerback number 2, Isaiah Simmons, a monster in size. Obviously a bit raw, but he'd be a bit raw no matter what position he's playing. And obviously block shed of 66 for a corner is on the higher end rather than a linebacker or safety where it's pretty average or on the lower end. Chase on, someone you would definitely look to upgrade. The DTs are perfectly fine, and then Chase Young, obviously perfectly fine. The first overall draft pick for this team. Really, when you're doing a rebuild, maybe you look for an offensive lineman. I guess look at tight end. Don't need to worry about quarterback, honestly. Looking at defense, maybe you look for a new replacement over Brooks. Maybe you get a new safety or two. Depends, maybe you get 2 linebackers and you move Chin back to safety, and then it's Chase on. Really, the main look for a replacement is Chase on and Love. That's pretty much it. So whenever we do a rebuild of this, which we should end up doing soon enough, maybe we didn't do a like goal in the beginning. We'll do a 500 like goal, and we will do a rebuild of this team, which will be the final perfect fantasy draft rebuild of the year until at least Madden 22 comes out. Anyways, though, hopefully this helped you guys out. I imagine I'll have some sort of image sharing link in the description or the pinned comments so you guys can see my little spreadsheet. Of course, it's going to be a nasty mess. It's not going to be perfect, but if you read it, it should be very obvious of what, where everyone goes and, what round and all that, what pick. So anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, and maybe it helped you out, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel PKR Plays, and then twitch.tv/JeromePKR. Could be live tomorrow at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, or even tonight around 10 p.m. Of course, you would know because I would either put out a tweet, I would put out a community tab thing, or just a complete, little 13-second video letting you guys know that we're live. Anyways, though, appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!